Good evening. Hi everyone, welcome to Live After 5. I would like to chat to you this evening about the latest MyHome property report. It's the Q3 report, and there is nothing surprising in this report for me or for other agents, I'm sure. So the nuts and bolts of it are as follows. Q3 this year has seen an asking price inflation of 9% on average throughout the country. In other words, prices have risen by a further 9%, as in the asking price. Now, the asking price, this is just a commentary that I'm adding to this data, the asking price and the sold price are very different. I think when we see the sold prices, we will see a significantly higher inflation than the 9%. So what is driving the price increase? The price increase is basically down to lack of supply. So there is a massive imbalance between the supply of property that's available on the market and the demand. So basically there are just way more buyers who are aggressively bidding and desperate to buy the properties, and there is not enough stock. And in terms of what's available on MyHome on Q3 right now, available for sale, that's 13,500 properties. Now, pre-pandemic, there was in the region of 20,000 properties for sale. That's an enormous deficit of stock, right? So imagine pre-pandemic, 20,000 properties for sale nationwide on MyHome, and then Q3, you're talking about 13,500. And by the way, that 13,500 is an increase in stock compared to what was advertised in Q2, and that increase is only 700 units. So whilst there are more sellers coming into the market, they're not enough. It's just a very, very small, meaningless increase. And this is like anything when you go to buy. It's like you go to buy gold. If there isn't, they keep the supply of gold at an all-time minimum to make sure that the value of gold rises. So it's a really big problem. Now, why isn't there enough stock? Because there hasn't been enough properties built. That's one massive reason. And obviously our population is growing. And also because we then had all the COVID issues, which has actually compounded the problem. So if you think about the supply level so low, you have COVID, you have a growing population. We're a long time off before the supply levels are going to be able to meet the demand. It's a really big issue. And what's a big problem is that the cost of construction is rising all the time. So the just reading my notes here, right? In terms of the cost of building these units, somewhere around 7%. I can't find it in my notes now, right? I wrote it down, I can't see it. But basically, the tender index for building has risen by 7%. And that means that when builders are building new homes, the cost of building it is somewhere, the increase in recent times is over 7%, according to the one of the bodies there in terms of surveyors. So that's a really big problem. It's not affordable. It's not viable for the builders to build prices that are sustainable within the markets. So why are the prices rising? The cost of doing business is not viable. That's a really, really big issue. So just thought I'd share that with you. So supply levels are nowhere near what the demand is, and we will more than likely still continue to see a dysfunctional market where prices are overheating, continuing to overheat. I hope you found that helpful. Myself and Maria are writing a blog on this, and then we'll attach a link to the article. It's worth actually Googling, but we'll the MyHome latest property report. So have a lovely evening, take care, and thank you very much for watching. Slán go fóill, and thanks John and everybody else.